I'm Wolf, here to roar with you through the jungles of recovery. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose together, full breath. And then a little sip at the top, and then slow exhale. The physiological sigh, proven to drop your cortisol levels and to bring you into a more relaxed state of mind. Today's video is admit or acknowledge that fear is fueling chronic pain, anxiety, and panic, and other neuroplastic conditions. But I generally focus on those because those are the big ones. And when I work with clients, those are the ones we go after first. And we accelerate the fading of those sensations through a bunch of techniques. But just acknowledging that fear is driving, fear is fueling chronic pain, fear is fueling anxiety, fear is fueling panic. Acknowledging that will bring relief because you're openly analyzing this mechanism, and the mechanism begins to deteriorate, begins to fall apart when you see it for what it is. So when you realize that the fear has been fueling chronic pain, that maybe you had a little sensation in your back, but you got afraid of it and you started avoiding using your body. You started to try to medicate it. You went to the doctor, you wanted to get a shot, you wanted to do some medical stuff. You went to the chiropractor, you wanted to get cracked. You did all this stuff. And that stuff for me was worse than useless because it increased the fear. It made my unconscious mind think there was something really wrong instead of just acknowledging fear is driving this thing. Fear is the fuel. So just acknowledging that fear is the fuel removes the fuel. And there's a lot of good research on this. UCLA, Lieberman, name it to tame it, labeling. When I realized that fear was the fuel, I began to separate that fear and feel that fear and observe that fear from a different lens. I began to close my eyes and go within and search a little bit. Yes, I had the sensations of chronic pain, which are fear. It's just fear in the body. But there were other sensations that were more traditional fear sensations. And I was programming my mind to use those because I didn't want my mind to use pain as a fear sensation. I didn't mind if it used a little buzz, a little anxiety, a little spidey sense. A little buzz like that is fine. If it's real danger, real fear, real something to be really afraid of, like I'm out in the woods and I hear a crack and I see a tree falling towards me. That's a time where I want to get the buzz. I want to get the spidey sense. I don't want to get the chronic pain. So we're reprogramming our nervous system and our unconscious mind to give us a more useful sensation when it comes to fear. And that useful sensation is more of a buzz, a racing heart, some extra adrenaline and cortisol, which might be useful if there's a real danger. We can run faster, we can fight harder, all that. But most of the time all the time with neuroplastic sensations, that fear is irrational, it's overprotective, and it's worse than useless. So I work with clients to reprogram their unconscious mind. And those are techniques that come from rapid resolution therapy, that come from my training in Vipassana meditation, that come from my lived experience of having gone on a multi-year journey of recovery from chronic pain, anxiety, panic, gastritis, arrhythmia, POTS, a lot of different things came with that journey. They all were fear. Every one of them, fear. So I learned how to work through those. So when I work with clients one-on-one, I use some techniques that I can't really do here because They are specifically designed in a session to work with my client's unconscious mind. So with your unconscious mind, using symbols, using your own likes and dislikes, we're moving you towards what unconscious wants for you. And I can't generalize that across this YouTube video. But I can give you these tips, like acknowledging that fear is the fuel will help you move forward, will accelerate your recovery. So let me know in the comments your practice for this. For me, it was closing my eyes and looking for the more traditional, more ancient sensations of fear. Not the learned ones of the chronic pain or even panic, but the more traditional ones. A little bit of a buzz. That's what I like. That's what I want. I'm moving towards that. So let me know in the comments how you're implementing this video, how it's working for you. And then go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, ring the bell, and feel free to join my newsletter list over at healingwolfcoaching.com. If you want like bonus content, I sometimes do free workshops and I'll send the Zoom link directly to you. I don't create as many newsletters as I should. That's what I'm working on, and getting that moving more in the direction of creating amazing content, which is not public, which is a little more specific, where I'm actually working with people and I'm working with people, clients or folks who are in my community in a way where you can watch and observe and be a part of it and learn more specific techniques than I can do here in a general way. So hit my website, healingwolfcoaching.com. You can also, if you're ready to work with me one-on-one, you can book a free consult call. I'll see you there and I'll see you here. And I am rooting you on your recovery. I know you can do this because I did it. And I know your life is going to expand into a whole new, vibrant, blissful adventure.